everyone, welcome back to my channel, New Me by Hannah. I hope you've had an amazing week, especially at the moment. I know everybody's getting so frustrated with each other, like living with somebody for so long, being so close together all the time, literally not being able to get away from them. It is no doubt causing arguments amongst everybody. So in today's video, I wanted to discuss how to resolve arguments quickly, how to argue properly, like there's an actual rule book, but how to most efficiently argue with the best outcome for both people and to kind of keep relationships together. Before I get into this video, as always, don't forget to subscribe and click the notification bell. Also, if you do enjoy the video, give it a quick thumbs up, and let's just get straight into it. Okay, so first things first, you must realize what's going on. So what I mean by this is that if you can kind of see the argument brewing, if the spidey senses are telling you, oh, they're arguing with me, then shut it down, or at least appreciate what's going on before it's too late and before they've gone at you full force and you haven't even had a second to kind of compose yourself and be able to respond to them. If somebody starts to raise their voice at you, or if they start to become a bit aggressive, then it's a surefire way to know that the argument's coming, especially if you're in a relationship. If your girl is going a little bit crazy, if you maybe said something that you didn't mean to, or she's taken it the wrong way, which we often do, I'm sorry, but we do. But you need to just notice that maybe she's getting a bit tempered, maybe things will start, maybe her voice is raising, maybe she's getting a bit more forceful in what she's saying, and then you either need to shut it down completely and apologize, or if you are going to argue, just, prepare yourself. Prepare for battle. When you have realized that the argument is underway, you realize that there's no way out, it is happening, you are in it, then there are some things you can do to try and calm it down slightly and to try and get the best outcome for both people. So, first things first, you must keep a relaxed posture. So, if you're sitting, stay chilling, like nothing is happening. This way, you are telling your brain, I'm in control, I'm relaxed, I'm happy, I'm on it, don't panic, okay? That's basically what you're saying. So, lean back. If you stood up, maybe even sit down like it's, just try to chill out and relax yourself. Definitely take a second before you respond. So if somebody is yelling at you or if they are arguing with you, then before you even come back with something that may be emotionally charged that you didn't mean, just take a second, take a deep breath, and then think logically, think quickly, but then respond to them. This is going to help you to maintain control of the situation. It's also going to help you just to not think emotionally and instead think logically. This moves on to my next tip, which is to slow down the tempo of the conversation. So if the conversation is getting a bit heated, maybe it's going in a direction that you don't want it to go, then you have to slow it down. So my last tip, you take a deep breath, you make sure you give it a pause, and that'll take the tempo right down. This again asserts control over the situation, and it really shows that you are taking time to think this through logically and that you're not just rushing into an irrational response. When you are engaged in an argument or a disagreement of some variety, it is so important to listen. Don't just pick up on what they're saying, punch you back like you're, defensive mode, and then just come out with loads of things without listening to the other person. It's very important. If somebody is arguing with you, there is usually a reason. You need to understand what that reason is, why it's got them so het up that they are arguing with you, and you need to think to yourself, how can I resolve this? Instead of just giving them a barrage of insults back that you probably don't mean and you'll probably regret later, it is much more advisable to ask the other person questions. This means that you understand their position you understand what they are narky about, it shows them that you're listening to them, which in itself will probably stop the argument, especially in girl world. You can't understand something just by feeling like you know what they're going on about. So if you don't fully understand the problem, you don't understand why it's bothered them so much, ask them loads of questions, show that you're listening, and it'll diffuse the situation 10 times faster. If you are in a situation where you are in an argument or a disagreement, but you are trying to get your point across, then you must use examples. If you are using examples, it means that you're being persuasive, you are showing the other person, I'm doing this or I'm saying this because of this, then they're more likely to pay attention and hopefully it'll get resolved much faster. When you're in an argument, you must find some kind of common ground. So something that you both agree on to kind of set the starting blocks and say, yes, I acknowledge we agree on this point, but this point we don't agree because. It's like you have to meet halfway and show, yes, we are on the same page in some aspects of this conversation, but just not on the others. Once you find out what those other things are that you're not agreeing with, you can then discuss it rationally and come up with a solution that benefits both of you. For example, right now it's probably a big argument point, but if you and your partner are arguing over household chores, for example, then you need to find out why she's arguing over it. Is it because she feels like she's doing most of the work? Is it because you're doing nothing? Same thing. But you need to say, right, I understand these chores have to be done. I understand bin day is Wednesday. Therefore, on a Wednesday, to help you, I will go and put the bins out.
Oh, hell no!
That's one less thing she has to worry about. And, tick it off a list. And if you want to go that extra mile further, just say, and if it can help you out, I'll also do this, and then make sure they're done, because then you won't have to have this argument ever again. It's very important when you're in an argument not to raise your voice. It's easy to do it, you become emotional, especially if you're not in your relaxed pose, you become very emotional. So make sure, even if the other person is yelling at you or screaming in your face, don't rise to it, because all you're going to do is just going to go up and up and up and up and up, and then you're both going to explode. So all you need to do is stay here, and then you'll see that the other person just starts to come down to your level, and it'll become a more rational and grown-up conversation. My final tip for how to argue is that if the situation is really not diffusing, if you've tried all of the above suggestions and you can't get through to them, then try to make a quick joke. I'm not meaning a stupid joke, but something to kind of ease the tension slightly. This will also give a pause in the conversation, and it'll let you take back control of the situation. So all around, people love jokes anyway. It's a no-brainer. So there you have it. If you must argue, at some point in your life you will come into confrontation. So you need to know how to deal with it. So I hope that I've helped you out here. I hope I've given you some really good tips to help you in the future, whether it's confrontation at work, at home, with your friends, anything like this. I hope that it's given you some kind of useful tips and knowledge to take forward. So if you have any questions, as always, don't forget to put them in the box below and I will come back to you as soon as possible. Otherwise, don't forget to subscribe, very important. Have an amazing week and I will see you in the next video.